Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Prince of Persia 2008 walkthrough. This time we are heading to our first fertile ground, and we are going to heal it. That's been decided.
Doesn't that mean it's him creating them?
It wasn't Ahriman. This is Ormaz's power. It is the temple protecting itself.
Well, I'm in it
now,
aren't I?
Whilst we are on our way there, I should probably discuss the voice actors for the Prince and Elika. So, the Prince here is voiced by Nolan North, who you should certainly recognise from a variety of other things. Particularly Nathan Drake in Uncharted, Desmond Miles in the Assassin's Creed series, the Penguin in the Batman Arkham games, the Corrupt Cause and the Defective Turrets in Portal 2, and also the current voice of Deadpool in pretty much all Marvel video game things. Nolan North's been about a lot, and if you've never heard his voice before, you probably have, and you just haven't realised it. Elika is voiced by Kari Wallgren, who has also been in quite a lot of things. And, like, from everything from live action things to anime and all sorts. I'm trying to remember, find exactly the main things that she has voice that you would recognise her as. She is the voice of Kasumi in Dead or Alive Dimensions, Paradise and Extreme 2. She's the voice for Lady in Devil May Cry's 3 and 4. She is the voice of Princess Ash in Final Fantasy XII. Dark Lord Gowl and Phosphora in Kid Icarus Uprising. Courtney Collins in Metal Gear Rising. Setsuka in Soul Calibur 3, although she was uncredited in that. She is Rain Sage in Tales of Symphonia. Yes. And she's also Wonder Green in The Wonderful 101. And in addition to that, she is Elena Ivanova in Vanquish. So, yeah, Kari Wallgren has done quite a lot of Platinum Games games. And anybody who knows me knows how much I love that.
Careful. This is more exercise than I was planning today.
So, this is essentially what we will be doing throughout the entirety of this game. It's making our way to a level, and then going through that level to reach the fertile ground, at which point we are going to run up against a hideous enemy that's going to try and kill us. There's really not going to be much variation in that pattern, although they do get a little bit creative in the order of events sometimes, which is quite cool. Now, there were 4 areas that you could go to right at the start. You just needed to choose. However, it's certainly recommended to go here first, because this is arguably the easiest of the areas to get to and around. And here we have the Hunter.
We'll be fine.
And he's got a pair of scissors for his hands, which is slightly terrifying. Now, you're going to want to try and deflect things as much as possible, because it gives you a chance to attack, and once you get into an attack, that can then lead into an amazing combo. There are quite a number of different combos throughout the game. I think the longest you can get is 14 hits, You'll see me try and get that throughout the course of this game, but the likelihood of success is small, let's put it that way. I've played through this game 3 times now, and yeah. And speaking of that, I should say, well, having said that I've played through it 3 times, I might as well kind of detail why I've played through it that many times now. So I got this game pre-owned a long while ago. Beat it, getting all of the light seeds, was very proud of myself. Then I got Xbox Live and accidentally wiped out all of my save data. So then I came to play it again, and I was going to record it, got part way through, had to scrap all the footage because it was very poor quality, and then just finished the rest of the game to have the save file, and then I decided to do it now for this. And so 3 times. It's obviously not that bad a game if I've come back to it this many times, although saying that, there are a number of people who have gone back to games like Sonic 06 more times than I would care to imagine. And yes, we've just had a wonderful healing of the area, which is mainly where I suspect the Okami influence came in.
How did you... Hey.
I'm alright. It's nothing.
It looks like it.
The fertile ground is pure now. It will stop Ahriman using its energy.
So he's trapped.
No. We must heal the other fertile grounds.
Yeah, you're in fine shape for that.
The light seed. Take me to a light seed.
And now we are going to get into what is essentially the second half of what these levels have in them. So, the first part is healing the fertile grounds, and then a bunch of light seeds appear all over the level. And you are going to have to collect them. You don't have to collect all of them to finish the game. I believe in total you need to collect 540 of 1001, but we are going to collect all of them because that's good.
That's because I didn't give it to you. What's the furthest you've ever been away from here?
You were there.
The end of that canyon? Where would you go, if you could?
The ocean. What's it like?
Well,
Now,
in the desert
kind of,
you feel alone.
I really like this.
But you live.
Just seeing the interaction between the prince and Alika, because
you might not come back.
it
What's it like being a
feels
princess?
Tiring.
rather
Why do you wear that
realistic
scarf?
in a
It's
way.
lucky.
I didn't think you believed in that sort of thing.
I don't.
It,
But maybe it believes in me.
I'm not quite sure how to describe it. I think it's kind of, even though they are complete strangers, they just kind of talk to each other, and from that they kind of learn from each other and learn what the other's like. And that kind of leads to a sort of fondness, really. And also because both Alika and the prince are sarcastic sods to each other. Like, you cannot imagine how well played the sarcasm is in this game. Because there are moments where they just really seriously take the mickey out of each other, and it's beautiful to watch. So, how I am doing this walkthrough is that we are going to complete a level, and then we are immediately going to go and find all of its light seeds that we can access immediately. Because as you can just see kind of up there are some plates that we cannot access. And we will be able to access them eventually, but not now, so essentially what that means is we have to come back. However, I would suggest that you do collect as many light seeds as possible early on, because then it means that after you have completed 2 entire areas, you essentially never need to collect any light seeds again. Which is a very helpful thing if you don't want to collect them. Well, I mean, saying that, it's very, 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 very easy to collect enough just running through the levels. I'm pretty sure that just going between the fertile grounds you can probably pick up enough to get by. It's a very, very easy game, is Prince of Persia 2008. Helped largely in part of the fact that you cannot die. Because whenever you fall off a ledge, Elika will save you. And also, in combat, if you fall, Elika will save you again there. That in particular is something that a lot of people don't like. And it's completely understandable why, because it really isn't challenging. However, just because there isn't challenge doesn't mean that you can't have fun with this game. Because, really, I don't play this game for the challenge. I play it because I like the characters, it's pretty, and I just find it really relaxing. Like, just in general, the way the game plays, although it feels rather automated at times, it's just very relaxing and methodical. And you don't really get many games like that, largely because you then end up with the argument of, oh, it's boring and tedious. But I think sometimes you need games that are slightly relaxing.
We need to keep going.
And without challenge. I mean, Kirby's Epic Yarn is a perfect example of that, and really the majority of Kirby games, apart from the final bosses of them, which are sometimes a lot more difficult than you would hope they would be.
Hey.
Now, although it's quite easily possible to get a lot of unique dialogue between the Prince and Elika, you will get repeats after a while. So be prepared for that. You're going to hear a number of lines repeated throughout the entirety of the walkthrough, because you just can't avoid it, really. So another thing that I'll probably talk about is some apparent influence on the Prince's design here, because it's not his normal design, which was seen in all of the other games. Basically, I think they decided that you could have more than one Prince of Persia, because the title is Prince of Persia, not the Prince of Persia, so that's why they decided to go for a different prince here. But also his design and character was based quite heavily on Sinbad from the Arabian Nights, Han Solo from Star Wars, and Aragorn from The Lord of the Rings. And if anything, you can really, really, really see the Han Solo in the Prince. And also the Nathan Drake. You can really see the Nathan Drake in the Prince. more so than I think you would have normal course to expect. Now, in most instances, I don't think there are light seeds this far back in the journey, although there might be. But yeah. Also, it's very, very, very easy to screw yourself over. Like, most of the platforming challenges in this game are very easy, even getting all of the light seeds. But it's just... ew. Sometimes you try and make a jump and you just fall short. And it's really unfortunate that it happens. But thankfully Alika saves you and you don't get penalised for it. Like, that's one of the really great things about this game's kind of difficulty, is that it doesn't penalise you for getting a light seed and it ended badly. Because some of them are in slightly awkward positions, and even though you can get all of them without falling off, or dying, in big inverted commas, because you can't die, but falling off is essentially the same as dying. It just happens. I mean, there is a reward for getting through the game without using Alika too much. I believe if you beat the game without falling off 100 times, you get an achievement. I will definitely need to double check that fact, but I will do that when I reach the extras, because that'll be primary achievement detailing fodder.
The fertile ground is up on that plateau. We can use the vines to get up there, then make our way across.
Make our way across to what?
Let's find out.
What are all these pipes?
When Ahriman took the city from the Ura, the Alchemist...
So, the next corrupted we are going to head up against is the Alchemist, and yeah, this guy is slightly scary.
He shapes it, makes it become what he wishes.
There was a potter I knew like that.
No, whilst the hunter doesn't speak, the likes of the Alchemist do.
They were for
like,
science.
he speaks a lot. Not as much as one of the other corrupted that we are going to have to face, but yeah. I'm glad you did read a book once, Prince, because books are very important. I am forwarding my cause of English literature to everybody. If you get a chance, read a book. Otherwise, you may end up like the Prince in some of his idiocy, in some of his idiotic moments. Although he's pretty worldly, so he knows what he's doing.
Like this everywhere, or we're in even deeper trouble.
Now at this point I probably should have turned off the tutorial thing, because it pauses just before you're meant to pull off the move, and that can really, really, really throw you off. Thankfully they don't do it that often, but they do tend to do it after you get hit a lot. Kind of like you're injured, block, so you don't get hurt anymore.
Sure, climb on the roof. It's not like gravity ever killed anyone.
So yes, you can climb on the roof, which is a pretty impressive feat for anybody, really. I mean, seriously. He's climbing on the ceiling.
Now. Just follow the girl. What can go wrong?
And here we go. We've reached the second fertile ground.
To reach him, to stop him.
Hey,
And,
step away from there.
oh,
There
here he is.
Here we go.
It's never simple, and pretty much every single fertile ground we reach, we are going to have to face down a corrupted. They get much more difficult as you go along, although saying they get difficult, it's more they start to use the power of the quick time event a lot more frequently, meaning that you don't get that much time to actually physically attack them. The Alchemist here, when I'm going to do his collection of fertile grounds, is not going to be the worst offender for that, but he's going to be pretty bad.
Now that should teach you something.
Be alert. He might return.
Go work your magic. I'm
Yeah,
not here.
he ain't returning here, because we are, going to heal the fertile ground immediately. So, as we, heal this area, in the next part we are going to collect the rest of the light seeds that have appeared, and hopefully we will have, by then gotten enough light seeds to go over the 60 light seed counter that has been appearing in the top left hand side of our screen, and find out what's all about that, and what happens when we reach the big 60.